Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, Charlamagne gave Donkey of the Day to a young man named Chris Lewis. He's 24 years old. He has 3 children, 1, 6, and 10.
He was arrested for leaving his kids at a McDonald's while he attended a job interview. He left the kids at the McDonald's for almost 2 hours. Mm-hmm. A 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 1-year-old while he went to go to a job interview.
Yeah, I deserve, he deserves Donkey today, but I just don't want to see that brother go to jail. It's like he was trying to better his life. Like I said, if he was at the club, if he was at a chick's house, if he was doing something illegal, I would understand it. But he was trying to better himself. He made a dumb decision. He's 24 years old. He had this baby at 14.
3 kids. Oh, my God.
He had this baby at 14.
I guarantee you that was because he didn't know how to stop busting off up in the club.
Jesus.
Listen, you don't jeopardize your child's safety.
I agree.
In the pursuit of employment, because there is no job on this planet that would make up for something happening to your child. If he would have left his kids there for 2 hours and they were kidnapped, or one of them suffocated in the ball of pitch, there's not a job in the world that he would have gotten that would have made up for that.
You're right.
So no, I do not.
Donkey, but not getting locked up.
That's not up to us. There's child negligence laws for a reason, and this is child negligence. And guess what, Envy? You say that, but if you had a babysitter, you hired somebody to watch your kids, and your kids if that babysitter just left your kids somewhere unattended for 2 hours, you'd be the first person wanting them locked up.
Envy would be in jail.
Exactly. So what are you talking about?
I would be in jail.
Crazy.
Let's
you don't
go
do
to
that
the
to
phone. Hello, who's this?
Hi, it's Miss Kimberly Honeycutt. What's good, Andy?
What's up, Kim? Can you take us off Bluetooth for speaker, please?
Okay, babe. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
All right, we can hear you. What's your thoughts, Kim?
My thoughts is that you're right, and we need to take Charlamagne. I need for him to step down off that cloud that he's on, and remember where you came from, sweetie. Like you said, there needs to be community already in a place so that the young men don't even have to have a thought process like that. And I just feel like that. I get your donkey the other day. It's so good, Charlamagne, but I think today when you read that, I don't know, I guess you're feeling yourself because you got your book dropping, but you had no heart or sympathy for dude. Like, this man trying to work. You see how many kids he got? Do you see the economy today? Oh, yeah, you do, because you're always talking about it.
Can I ask you a question? Because I did say during Donkey I have empathy for him, but I want to ask you a question. You tell me a job in this world that is worth jeopardizing your child's safety, because if something would have happened to those kids in those 2 hours, let's say one of the kids would have suffocated in the ball pit, well, let's say they would have got kidnapped. What job could he have possibly gotten that would have been worth that?
There is no job.
Okay, can I ask you? Let me ask you another. Can I ask you another question?
Okay, I didn't answer your question, Pooh. I didn't answer your question, Pooh. Calm down. Pipe down. So listen. Or to answer your question though, it's not about the job that he's going that's jeopardizing his kid. That man's thought process, he's trying to put food on his table. He's trying to work. He's trying to provide best that he knows how. You just broke down the factor that this man has a 6-year-old and he's 21.
24.
You do know that the brain doesn't stop developing until you're 25.
Absolutely, but you still don't jeopardize your child's safety in the pursuit of employment. And not nobody calling up here who got kids would leave their kids somewhere unattended for 2 hours, a 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 1-year-old.
Where I didn't know one person. One person. If I knew somebody that worked at the McDonald's, watch them, keep an eye on them for me or something.
I wonder how the mom feel, because the mom came to get the kids late. I wonder how she feel about this situation.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Martell calling from Charleston.
Hey, Martell, can you take us off Bluetooth for speaker if you got us on?
Yeah.
It's hard to hear you.
Okay.
All right, Martell, what's your thoughts?
I feel like, he should have been arrested, but they also need to be lenient on him. And that's coming from a mother who raised 2 kids alone, and I've had that situation. I used to take my kids to work with me when I worked third shift at a hotel.
Right.
Sometimes you really don't have the means to find somebody to babysit. I have a lot of family in Charleston, but there were times where people just didn't want to do it because I didn't have the money to pay, or somebody worked a different shift, and things happen. Like, they need to give him some resources. I mean, he's 24 years old with 3 heads of kids. That's like a lot for somebody at that age.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? You said you took your kids to work with you. Would you ever think of just leaving them someplace unattended while you was at work?
No.
That's
No,
my
I've
point.
taken them to
That's why she
interviews,
said
too.
he should be arrested. They should just be lenient.
I agree
him.
with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
Thank you, Mama.
That's a good perspective.
Hello, who's this?
This Tisha.
Hey,
Good
Tisha.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your thoughts, Tisha?
So first of all, Charlamagne, I think you need to relax.
Tisha, take us off
You said
Bluetooth or
what?
speaker.
Come on now, Charlamagne.
Yeah,
The
but-
man trying.
Y'all are missing, and you know what's so funny? I started Donkey of the Day off by saying, if that is your mindset, you missing the bigger point. You got kids, man?
I definitely do. I have 3 kids, and one of them is that same little boy age. I'm 23.
So you 23. Would you, if you had a 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 1-year-old?
No.
her
My
boy's
son
23.
is 23.
Okay,
boy
sure,
said
but I'm saying if you had when your son was 10, would you leave your 10-year-old, your 6-year-old, and your 1-year-old unattended at a restaurant for 2 hours?
No, I'm definitely not doing that, but I have left my 10-year-old and my 6-year-old at home with each other because they were mature enough to stay there by themselves. I'm just saying that everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
He was dead wrong. It was very irresponsible,
Mm-hmm.
but Donkey of the Day, that's a bit much.
No, I think he deserved donkey. I just don't
What are
think he
y'all
deserves to
talking
go to jail. Like he deserves donkey, but going to jail, I just think is. I mean, the man was doing his best. Like, he made a stupid decision and a dumb decision. Thank God nothing happened to his kids. But he wasn't doing anything stupid and crooked. He wasn't like he was going to the club. He wasn't going to the mall. He wasn't shopping. He wasn't checking the chick. He was trying to better his life. Stupid decision, but I don't think he should go to
And
jail
it would have
for
been better if he did leave him in the house. It's hard to get kidnapped in the house.
Word.
You know what I mean? Like, it would have been, I think it would have been better if he did leave them in the house. They're familiar with everything. You can still get hurt in the house.
Word.
But that 1-year-old, that's the tricky one. The 10-year and 6-year-old, you can say, but that 1-year-old,
The 1-year-old.
what? 1-year-old.
What about the 1-year-old?
A 1-year-old, leaving that
Leaving him in the
1-year-old
house.
is the biggest thing. It's the most difficult thing.
Bro, you got kids.
I
6
do.
and 10. What are you talking about,
At
man?
10, you've been in the house before beside yourself for 10 years old.
2025, you're just gonna leave your 3 kids unattended
It's
somewhere.
not smart. I'm not saying
What are we
it's smart.
talking
I'm not
about,
saying
y'all?
it's a good decision. I don't want the man to be arrested
You
for it,
don't
though.
jeopardize your child's safety in the pursuit
I
of
agree.
employment because once again, there is no job on this planet that would make up for something happening to your children.
I agree.
What
but
is wrong with us
I
this
agree,
morning?
But that employment had to
Nah,
probably
don't
pay
be
for
saying us.
eggs.
I'm sorry. You're
I
right.
know.
That employment is probably paying for rent. That employment is probably paying for food. That employment is paying for daycare.
Envy. That employment ain't gonna bring your kids back if something bad happened to
But
them.
thank God nothing did happen. But I'm not saying it's right.
I hope
I
your
just don't want him to
babysitter
go to
leave
jail.
your kid somewhere.
No babysitter
And,
leave my
and
kid.
let's see what happens when they do that.
my
What you
God.
going? Look at he mad already. He mad just thinking about
And
it.
it ain't
He
even
look at-
happened.
He mad just even thinking about it. What are we doing here?
Jess, you got a little money on the side to bail me out?
little bit. I
What
got
are
a
we
little
talking
bit.
about?
Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you.
listen.
Just a little bit.
And once again, you know who I would love to talk to in this situation? Those kids' mother. Because the mother came to pick them up at 6:18. The mother probably was thinking, "What the hell you doing leaving my
Exactly.
kids for 2 hours?"
I'm sure. 800-585-1051. What's your thoughts? Let's discuss. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we're talking about Donkey today. Charlamagne gave Donkey today to a young man named Chris. He had a job interview. He has a 1-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 10-year-old. And he decided to leave him at McDonald's while he did the job interview. He left him there from about 4:30 to 6:15.
No,
and he was
4:30
arrested.
to 6:18, almost 2 hours.
6:18.
And then the mother came to pick him up. So my thing is, where was the mother from the beginning?
Charlamagne gave him donkey today. I agree with the donkey. I just don't think he should be arrested for it. But let's go to the phone
It was
line.
probably at her interview. I think the mother was probably at her job interview.
Right? Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Richie from Jacksonville.
What's up, Ricky? Talk to us. What's your thoughts?
Man, my thoughts is he deserved to be locked up. I mean, my thing is, if you don't have proper daycare for child care for your interview, what if you get the job? Like, how you going to have child care when you do get the job?
But I
Like,
think
those kids still require adult supervision. Anything can happen. So
it
if
could
you
have
don't
been
have child care now, how you going to have it when you do get the job?
it could have been a situation where maybe he had a babysitter and the babysitter canceled. It could have been a situation where somebody was supposed to watch him in the last minute. They did cancel, and that was his last resort. You know what I mean? So we don't know that young man's situation. And I agree with the donkey, but I just don't agree with him being arrested for it.
And why y'all acting like a
Why
job
not?
is more important than the kids?
I'm not.
Right.
I'm not saying that at all.
You know what I'm saying? And the lady called up here and said, "Don't forget where I come from." Never in life would my mama leave me in a McDonald's, and as poor as we were, like
Yes.
never would that happen.
Hello, who's this?
This is Mo from Brooklyn.
Mo from
How
Brooklyn.
y'all doing?
What's up, Mo? Talk to us. What's your thoughts?
Man, I feel like I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel like the situation that he was in is one that he should be penalized for. I feel like, man, we don't know his circumstances. Right? He was out for 2 hours. I wouldn't do it. I got a son that's 10. I got a son that's 5. That's not something I would do, but I definitely wouldn't penalize him for it. I feel like that's an opportunity for him, and he took it. You know, unfortunately, you know, somebody saw that those kids were unattended, and they called in.
Yeah,
but I really don't feel like he should be penalized for it.
Yeah, but listen, you're right. One of the customers did see that the kid was unattended, and they called. You know why they called? Because they know that no kid should be goddamn unattended.
Right. And how they know his father went to an interview? They, you know what I mean? They just like, no, what's going on? They ain't want to take them kids with them.
Called. That's right.
You know.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's Beezy from Alvin.
Beezy, what's up? Talk to us. What's your thoughts?
Man, I feel, I guess, empathy for the guy. I feel bad for him that he ended up going to jail, but I didn't know that parental paranoia was a thing until we had our first kid, and I just couldn't see myself leaving my kids anywhere while I go somewhere for almost 2 hours.
That's all I'm saying. I wrote about that in my second book. Got a whole chapter called Parental Paranoia, the anxiety that you have just being a parent. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, even
I couldn't do that.
Hello, who's this? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's your name?
Ashley.
Hey, Ashley, what's your thoughts?
Hey, everybody. So I agree with Envy. I believe, yes, although I understand he shouldn't have left his children in the car, but we don't know what the situations may have been. Like, his babysitter could have backed out at the last minute, and that may have been his only opportunity to get a job. Like, if he's going to McDonald's, then obviously he's trying hard to provide for his children. And so I think that it was just, he was stuck in a rock and a hard place. But at the end of the day, I don't think it was, by law, yes, child negligence, but he's trying to do his best thing as a black man to take care of his 3 children.
You got kids?
I do. I have 3 children.
Would you leave your kids unattended somewhere for 2 hours, a fast food restaurant?
I would not. But I do understand that we all have different situations. We have to have some grace at the end of the day.
Now look,
giving him talking of the day, I understand, but for him to go to jail,
I'm with you.
Yeah. I got you. Let me ask you this though. Now I know you wouldn't do it, but what if your baby father did it? If he left all 3 of your kids at the McDonald's while
that wouldn't even happen, because if he told me that he couldn't find a sitter.
No, that's not what Jess asked you. Jess said, what if though?
No, just be on some hypothetical ish. Like, what if he couldn't call you? He was trying to get to his interview. He late, and he just and he left all 3 of them kids there, and you didn't know until you got off work and you went to pick them up. What would you do?
Oh, I'm gonna curse him out and tell him he should have called me.
But if you go into jail, is that justified for you?
Oh, I'm gonna still stick by. I'm gonna stick by him because he's still trying. There's other guys out here that would have been like, you know what, whatever. I'm just not gonna go to the interview. Like, it is what it is. But he's trying, and I think that's where it's hard, especially for our black men. Like, they're trying. You gotta stick by the ones that's really trying their best.
Thank you, Mama. Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Al.
Al, what's up? What's your thoughts, Al?
Man, my thoughts is that he wasn't wrong, man. I mean, he was wrong for what he did, but he wasn't wrong for why he did it. You know what I'm saying? The country should have something set up to when they learn about that situation, man, they offer him a job. They have some people, that offer him a job, man.
Okay. Thank you, Al. Let's go to one more.
Why not apply to McDonald's, yo? Just apply to McDonald's. If they already here, yo. Just ask how they hiring.
Just already there.
Yeah.
Free food.
Damn.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Shakima. Hello.
Hey, Shakima. What's your thoughts, Shakima?
Hey, how are you? So just real quick, Charlamagne, you were a little hard on him because I have a sister in a similar situation. We grew up in foster care. So my sister, she has 6 kids, literally 6 kids. She's out there in New York. Everybody's quick to tell you to call these resources, but have you ever tried to call some of these resources? Nobody answers the phone. Nobody gets back to you. Like, there's so many. It's easy to say, call these resources. I've called the resources for my sister. She has 6 kids. She's out there in New York. She has vouchers for daycare. There's no daycare seats available. So there's just so many different, there's so many factors that could have played into it. And it is unfortunate that this young man got arrested, but Charlamagne, you're saying, oh, he could have had a babysitter, he could have had whatever. He could have also left his kids at home, and something could have happened to them at home. It's just so many scenarios, but it's just unfortunate that this man has gotten arrested trying to better his life for his kids. And I live in Georgia, and trust me when I tell you, the resources are not resourcing here for these families.
You know, you know what else Georgia? You know what else Georgia has?
What?
High sex trafficking. You go to the airport in Georgia. Human trafficking is big in Georgia. You know that?
Charlamagne, you act like kids aren't getting snatched out from their own homes, though.
That's right. So why make it easier for them?
You even said he went back to check on the children. You just don't know the full story to give this young man donkey the other day. I do think that you kind of forget where you're coming from a little bit too.
Why are you talking about?
You're in a better position. Listen.
Listen.
Those resources are not available.
Can I say something to you?
When I tell you this.
Can I say something to y'all? I know that, but y'all keep saying I forgot where I come from. My mama would never leave me unattended anywhere at 10 years old, 6-year-old, 1-year-old.
Times were different.
Yeah, people are worse. People are worse now.
This young man made the attempt to try to better himself. He went back to check up on his children. It's just unfortunate that everything played out the way they played out, and the mom was able to get the children. We don't know. Maybe the mama was at work and they had an agreement to meet up at the McDonald's to get the kids at a certain time. We just don't know. But those resources are not available, especially in our community. They are not available like you think they are. It may be a number, but trust me when I tell you, since COVID, you cannot reach anybody on the phone.
I'm realizing.
Trust me when I tell you, I see it with my sister.
Thank you.
I'm realizing that people care more about money than they do their kids.
No, it's not. Let me
finish. Our job as men is to protect and provide.
Facts.
Protect comes before provision for a reason. You don't jeopardize your child's safety in the pursuit of employment. Because I'm going to say this for the last time. There is no job on this planet that he could have gotten that would make up for something happening to his child in that McDonald's.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I agree with you. He deserves donkey of the day. I just don't like to see the brother getting arrested.
I didn't arrest him.
I didn't say you did. I just don't like to see the brother getting arrested and put on his record when he was trying to do better. He's 24 years old. He's a young dad. Obviously, he's struggling out there, and he needed that opportunity. We don't know what happened if the babysitter canceled last minute, but he was trying to do what's right. You know, we see so many other stories where people leave their kids in the cars to smoke crack, to go to the club and do some negative stuff. He was trying to better himself. He made a stupid decision. Thank God nothing happened to his kids. I just would hate to see that on his record where he can't get a better job for that.
As I said,
you smack him on his hand, you give him the resource, you explain to him what it was, and then as a community, we uplift them.
As I said during Donkey today, if that's your mindset, you're missing the bigger picture. The bigger picture is you don't jeopardize your child's safety in the pursuit of employment because anything could have happened to those kids. Like my mind don't even work like that. Like I'm not leaving no children unattended while I go run off to do something real quick, especially at a McDonald's. Fast food restaurant.
But that tells you how bad it probably was, that he has to pay rent. He has to pay for that food, and they're probably struggling. He probably needs this job and his money. And it was either, look, I got to put my kids in daycare. I got to pay these bills. And we all talk about how
you
the
already
prices of
said
things.
If somebody left your kids unattended, you'd be the first person calling the police.
No, I wouldn't call the police. I would have to go to jail because you're going to leave my kids there alone by themselves.
Yeah, I don't got you calling the police.
Why what? Because you don't leave my kids. But also...
But I don't know. What if the person has the person's circumstances?
But also, I have the same heart that...
What about the babysitter's circumstances?
But I gave them a job. They have a job. That person obviously
you're not
doesn't
paying
have a
them
job.
enough. They still got to go go make money elsewhere. So they got to leave your kids just real quick for a couple hours to go get some money.
But I'm also the type of person, if I'm in McDonald's and the brother told me and see me and say, yo, bro, can you watch my kids for a little bit while I do? I would say and watch the kids. I would do that.
Something like that.
You wouldn't ask no questions?
If he said he had a job interview and I believed him, I would sit there and watch his kids.
You wouldn't ask no questions? You wouldn't be.
If they say I got a job interview.
And then when the police roll up and be like, hey, this Dominican just kidnapped these 3 kids. Like, what you mean?
Yeah, you know what?
Somebody just left these kids with me. You're just going to leave it? What's up? What's up with us as a people, man?
I ain't doing that nice for y'all now.
And then, I wonder if the person who called the police, did they at least, like, get the kids something to eat first, or they just straight called the police? If you
that was in McDonald's.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yo, are y'all hungry would be my first, like, I just want to get them something to eat and then call the police.
All right.
Salute to that person, too. But by the way, that's another scenario that we didn't think about, right?
Yeah.
If you're that father, you know that you taking a criminal chance leaving these kids.
Yeah.
So now that the police done been called, is that worth it? Because to your point, Envy, now it's on your record. It's making it harder for you to get a job.
Right. All right. Well, we got the latest with Lauren. Coming up next is The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.